Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thanks for jumping in here today. So I can't go a week, a day without thinking about this, and so I figured I'd jump in there and talk about it. I'm going to talk about all the price changes that have been happening with Tesla recently and everything that's going on with the EV credit. You guys have to have been following that, especially if you're considering on the fence or anything with a Tesla, an EV, or anything like that. And now I'm talking about the government incentivized $7,500 tax credit. Now, we're going to dive into that today. We're going to dive into the price breaks for Teslas, the Model Y, Model 3 specifically, and then there was actually a price jump of the Model S and X, so if that's in your budget, you might want to figure that out quickly. But either way, sit back, relax. You guys are watching the Tall Tesla Guy. I'm going to start right into it. I got this news article the other day that said the Tesla Model Y is actually cheaper than a Toyota RAV4. Now, it's an odd comparison. I wouldn't say, I mean, maybe size-wise a little bit, they're similar, but definitely not in the same class, I wouldn't think. The RAV4 versus the Model Y being, they're both mid-size to small-size SUVs. I would say that the lifestyle might be a little bit different on either one, but I guess as far as size goes, they're pretty comparable. So I actually just got this notification the other day that the Tesla Model Y is now cheaper than the Toyota RAV4. Now, the comparison came in, they're pretty similar in size. Now, the Model Y does have more interior cargo space, 76 cubic feet if you fold the seats down, but the RAV4's got a lot of space too in it. And I think the biggest reason for the comparison is that the Model Y is the #1 selling global EV of any other car. Global EV. In fact, it outsells some of the gas vehicles. In fact, a lot of gas vehicles. So when you think of it like that, the Toyota RAV4, as far as the mid to small size SUV, all-wheel drive, compact, all that kind of stuff, is one of Toyota's #1 sellers. The direct comparison makes sense when you think of it like that. But recently, with all of the price cuts, now Tesla did non-stop price cuts. It was dizzying to watch over the past few weeks to the past couple of months. And originally people thought it was to get it closer in line to make the Model Y available for the $7,500 government incentivized tax credit, which it did, but I think they were trying to really push sales. They were trying to get through the quarter and really dump those sales out there. Now they've sold, close to 1 million vehicles of the Model Y, and they're certainly with Giga Berlin, with Giga Shanghai, all these factories are producing these Model Ys at record numbers, outpacing the Model 3, certainly outpacing any other Tesla that's available. And what it's doing is creating this global need, or this global supply and demand issue for Teslas, and it's creating a situation where it's outpacing some of the best sellers from any other gas vehicle as well. So not only is it outselling and outpacing every electric vehicle, it's outpacing a lot of the gas vehicles. Now, the Tesla Model Y is cheaper than the RAV4 now. Now, they did just have, at the time of this video, Tesla did just have a new a price increase. It brought the Model S and X back up to where they were before, or pretty close anyway. The Model Y jumped around a little bit. It went down 1,500, went up a couple thousand, went down 3,000. It's been sort of all over the place, but it is still cheaper than the RAV4. Now, the Tesla Model Y does qualify for the total $7,500 tax credit if you bought it in 2023 and you use it as a predominantly vehicle and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to get into the details of the tax break, but it does offer $7,500. So when you add that to it, your Tesla Model Y, not including the gas savings that Tesla always kind of throws in there, but at $49,000, you take the $7,500 off of it, and you're well under the cost of a Toyota RAV4, which is just crazy. I've driven both, and I can tell you that the driving experience in the Model Y is unparalleled with any other vehicle that I've ever been in. I just really enjoy the spacious cabin, the panoramic glass roof, the acceleration is phenomenal, the comfort interior space. I'm 6'5", I have plenty of headroom here. You can kind of see there, I have plenty of leg room, which I've showed you guys in other videos. So in that case, I would say that it is uncomparable, which probably isn't a really good word for this situation. But either way, I can say that it is bar none the best vehicle I've ever driven. So I can say that. And if you were thinking about getting a car, thinking about getting a Model Y specifically, or even a Model 3, now is the time to do it. right? Now is the time to do it. People were waiting and waiting for this tax credit. Tesla offered all these incentives. They offered free supercharging. They offered 10,000 miles of supercharging, all these other things to get it, you know, enhanced autopilot, stuff like that. And people waited and waited and waited. And then now at this point, you sort of missed out on some of the savings. Now it is still cheaper, but it would have been a little bit more cheaper, right? So then the other side of the coin is actually the Model S and the X. Now it's certainly a different, I don't know, a different price point, no doubt, right? So if you're looking at a Model 3 and a Y, you're probably not considering a Model S and X on the same level. Model Y is going to be about 50,000 out the door. A Model X is going to be about 100,000, similar to a Model S. Now you get that Model S Plaid, you're going to be about 120, same with the Model X Plaid, but and, you know, the different configurations and such. But if you were considering it, if you looked at it about 4 months ago, the Model X with the 6 seats was going to cost you about 130,000, maybe 120. Now you can get it for about 105, right? So what they did is dropped it down way. You know, they dropped the price down almost back to where it used to be a couple of years ago. The analysts think they did that because they have excess inventory. They're definitely, no doubt, not selling as many S and X's as they are 3 and Ys. In fact, you can tell at the way that they're tooling their factories, they're tooling them to produce the Model S, or sorry, the Model Y and 3, right? So the Model S and X, it's a different price point. Different people are looking for it, but either way, they could price it a lot similar, and I still think people would go for the Y and the 3. It's just the car that fits the lifestyle. It's the car that fits the price point that people are looking for. And on top of that, recently they've raised their prices again on the S and X. So if you were looking at it before and you didn't pull the trigger, now you're going to pay even more for it. It's one of those crazy things. And honestly, like the $7,500 tax credit, which you can't get through a video without talking about it, without getting into all the details on it, it's a huge incentive. It's a huge incentive for the EV market. And the downside to it is, years ago, it was available for all companies that produce an EV. However, once you produced 500,000 EVs, the incentive dropped down. It was a tiered incentive, and then it went away completely. Well, Tesla met the delivery requirement to not be allowed to present the EV credit to their consumers. So by the time we bought our Model Y, which was in 2020, it wasn't available anymore. They had sold too many cars. So, you know, now the Model Y has sold well over 500,000 cars, even though it's only been around for a couple of years. That EV credit came back. It came back in 2023. So if you buy today a Model 3 or Model Y, and you take delivery of it in 23, there were some cutoffs for the tax day, all that sort of stuff, but you get, or you qualify for that $7,500 EV tax credit, which is huge, especially, like I was talking about before, not that you're comparing it to a RAV4, but especially if you were looking at 49,000, 52,000. Now this isn't for the performance Model Y, but this is the regular one, long range. And you were trying to decide if you were gonna get a Model Y or a 3, you're dropping $7,500 off the Model Y, and it's already cheaper than the long range Model 3, performance Model 3. So there's no reason not to. It's got more space in it. You can easily put, you know, like I said, we got a child's car seat back here. You can put 3 car seats in a row back here and keep an oversized golden retriever in the back, which is important to us. And it's got the room, the headroom, the space, the seats are a little bit higher, all that kind of stuff. So if you were on the fence between a Y and a 3, right now with a $7,500 tax credit, you might as well get the Y. But either way, all this crazy, the crazy price changes that Tesla's having, it's dizzying. And in reality, I would say, like, I never regretted pulling the trigger when I pulled the trigger. And if that's where you are on the fence, do it. You won't regret it regardless of the price. People buy it and then the price drops and they get you know, worried about it, or they start thinking about it, or regretting it, stuff like that, buyer remorse. But take it for a drive, take it for a road trip. You're not going to regret it. You're going to love it. You're going to love the vehicle. Either way, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, watching the videos, and hanging out with me today. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, week, month so far, and you're staying safe out there. Thanks for watching, everybody.